Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Flo Kofer, and I am running for mayor of Sacramento. I am so incredibly honored to be here with Isabel and Betty as first-time candidates running in our respective jurisdictions to be able to bring progressive people power to our institutions. And I think this is so incredibly important because California is the 5th largest economy on planet Earth. And I am running for mayor in a city where we are 3rd in homelessness, behind New York and Los Angeles. And it was not like that just 5 short years ago. Our homelessness numbers have quadrupled, while we had entirely Democratic leadership and a failure to enact policies that exist around the world, and also new ones that could move us in a different direction. My race is so incredibly important because for so long, people have said Sacramento is incredibly conservative. The data don't bear that out. Sacramento is a city that voted for Bernie Sanders. And Sacramento is a city that on March 5th voted for me 9,000 votes ahead of previous and current elected officials who hold current power. And they did that because they wanted a change. Because I was the only candidate who said that genocide is wrong and we need a ceasefire. They did that because we knocked on doors, 25,000 of them to be specific, with over 450 volunteers, because we had 60 house parties between April and November of last year, gathering 10, 20, 30 people in a room and talking about our vision for the future. See, Sacramento has an opportunity right now to either manage our decline or to set a vision for the future about where we can be. Those are our options. We have a $66 million deficit, very similar to our county and our state. And money will always be used as the reason why we can't have nice things. But as Assemblymember Carver knows, whether we have a $100 billion surplus or a deficit, we still can't get single-payer health care passed in the state of California. So it's clearly not about the money. It's about our political will to be able to move something different. And that's why I'm so energized to be in this space with all of you today, because people power is incredibly powerful. We can move and change things. And so for Sacramento, one of the things we know is that we have a wealth of expertise and lived experience that we can draw on, and we often don't. We have silenced the very communities that can offer us the keys to our success. And I come from a public health background. That's what brought me to Sacramento from the East Coast 20 years ago. And when I saw those palm trees on Capitol Avenue, I decided to stay because I was coming from Pittsburgh by way of Atlanta and Michigan. And I can tell you, I never wanted to shovel snow again. And what I saw in Sacramento was very similar to what I saw in Pittsburgh, which is a mid-sized city with rivers flowing through it, with tight-knit communities of people who were largely being ignored. And we had a real opportunity to be able to do something different. And public health really focuses on the 2 things that matter most to humans: the number of years in our life and the amount of life in our years. And I am so reminded of what Neil deGrasse Tyson said when he said, when I look at our elected officials nationally, where are the scientists? Where are the social workers? Where are the public health professionals to be able to talk about the fact that systems are perfectly designed to get the outcomes that they do? This is a feature, not a flaw. Let the market decide. The market decided that 10,000 people are unhoused, 72% in Sacramento of which are unsheltered. That is a market decision. And it is our responsibility to do something different. And so when we've been able to bring communities together, to actually listen, to talk about embedding them in the process, people showed up. And so I was so proud to be able to be in the company of so many people across the region who rolled up their sleeves and got involved. So many people who believed that we can do something different. And it was so inspiring to be able to see that not only did we win 57% of the precincts in Sacramento, we led in the low-income communities and communities of color. Why? Because we were able to draw on all of the expertise that we had to be able to make sure that our website was available in the 5 most spoken languages in Sacramento. We can't tout our diversity and then not speak to people where they are. Because we actually showed up in communities that didn't feel seen and heard and listened. And so that is the power of what we're building here, and that's why Working Families Party is so incredibly important. Because we need places like this where we can build each other up, where we can strategize, where we can be honest about the things that are not working, and also be visionary. Because so often we are told when we're visionary that we're immature, that we're impractical, right? That we're not realistic. But the truth is that the moderate position is not one that we herald in any point in history. Nobody looks back on the people balancing slave and free states in 1852 and says, that was a good compromise. No one looks back on the Plessy versus Ferguson and says, separate but equal was good policy. And even in my own life, no one looks back on don't ask, don't tell as a good, solid choice. And so we have to remind ourselves that we have the moral authority and we have the power and vision to do something better. And that is why I am so honored to work at the local level, because we have a real opportunity here to be able to change our future and to be able to change what people think is possible. If one thing has been stolen from us, it is our capacity to dream. So I encourage you to continue to dream with me today. Continue to build with me today. And I am so grateful to be in community with these wonderful candidates and with all of you.